Today I'm doing something very special. This is a website that was designed using AI, but with a basic prompt. This is the same prompt, but this time this was using Crafter Pro. Now, do you see how the spacing is done and everything is all lined up correctly? And most importantly, if we go in here and we go to Design Assist, this passes with 100 out of 100. But if we go into this one here and do the same thing, you'll notice that our Design Assist here has failed this website. This is because a lot of these areas which the AI designed were using hard-coded information. You can see here that it's used 14 pixels instead of our preset. So we are going to design these websites using a prompt. I'm going to be using Claude and Nova Mirror in Divi 5. Let's dive in. Over here, I am connected to Nova Mirror on my website here, frames.diviuniversity.com. So I'm using Claude Code, which is installed on my local computer. So here's my prompt. Build me a landing page on frames.diviuniversity.com for a local dental practice called Northgate Dental, blah, 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 blah. So let's see what happens if we hit enter. You know, with this AI seems to be, the thing, and we are definitely going to be using for the future, but I want to see how this actually performs in real time. So over here, you can see it's going through all the diagnosis. Now, you know what I found very interesting is if you take a look at this line here, it says, the theme is Divi with Divi 5 blocks and Crafter Pro is active. So I will build this in the Divi 5 builder. Now, for this connection, Nova Mirror to find that Crafter Pro is actually loaded in here and it also has some files that will help it build this web page. It's actually quite interesting. So let's see what else we have to do here. So we have a few options here. So in this example, I intentionally did not add my design.md file because I really wanted to see how the AI is going to put together this website. And straight away, I can see here it's saying it's going to give us some colors to work with. So this is actually quite interesting here. So I want to go with this option 1 or the first option, which is recommended, and then say next. So I'm still being asked more questions here. There's no dentist photo, blah, blah, blah. And over here now I think I'm going to use pixels for this. So I'm going to go ahead and select that. And now it's going to go ahead and try and build this. So here I'm just looking very close. It seems like it is going to load the Divi 5 skill before writing anything. Actually, this is quite interesting. When I was trying out Nova Mirror and Divi, I didn't really look close at what it is actually doing here. So it is, searching for all the files that it needs for it to build, which is very, very interesting. I can see a future where if we feed Nova Mirror with all the files that we need, we might be able to build perfect looking websites which follow our own design system. So it's still going on here. Now, just bear in mind that sometimes these prompts can take quite a while to do. So far I can see here I'm 4 minutes in and it is, taking a bit of time. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to pause and then see what happens when this prompt is finished. So after waiting 20 minutes, I finally have my design here. So I opened up the link. And this is what the design looks like. It's not too bad. It's quite generic, but I can see that there's a lot of areas which can be improved because the spacing is off. You can see over here we have a massive gap here. I mean, this doesn't look right. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm using Crafter Pro, and Crafter Pro is very powerful because I can go in and see where the design inconsistencies are. And you see, this is where I have a problem with AI at this present moment, because if it doesn't know how to follow your design system, then you're going to have a big problem. Okay, so let's take a look here and see what is wrong with this layout using Crafter Pro. So I'm going to now go in and say edit with Divi, and over here on the bottom I'm going to go to Design Assist. So straight away, I can see here that we have 19 out of 100, which means that this page, is not good at all. So the question now is, where are the issues? So first of all, if I go to headings, I can see here they are using 46 pixels instead of KH2, which is my presets. So let's hit apply and see what happens. So first of all, it's right here that we need to fix, and it's telling me it's going to convert 46 pixels to KH2. And by the way, this is not native in Divi. This is Crafter Pro, my own software for designing websites with Divi. All right, so I'm going to say apply fix, and I can see now that this is now following KH2 and it is following my design system. All right, so that's pretty cool. Now I would have to go in now manually and fix all these items here that are wrong with this design. So on the spacing, on the colors here, I have issues with the colors. I also have issues here with the text because it's not following the text from my variable manager, which is quite annoying. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try something different by giving Nova Mirror all my Crafter Pro files, and then let's see if I change the prompt a little bit, if it's going to build this page or rebuild it using all my rules and my skills that I give it. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. So before I give it the next prompt, I want to load all these files here and give these files to Nova Mirror. So I have the design.md file. I also have the Nova Mirror skill, and I also have the context and the knowledge graph. So these 3 files or 4 files, I'm going to give them to Nova Mirror and see if it's going to build something that is different to what I had in a moment. So let's dive in. So first of all, I'm going to download my design.md file. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And here it is. I'm going to find it in my folder and I have it right here. So what I'm going to do now is to go into my setup here and go into Nova Mirror. So I'm going to come over here. So I'm going to import my design.md over here. So I'm going to click. And I can choose the file by coming over here, and I can find it in my downloads. And here it is. Double click on that. And then I'm going to say activate after import. I think that's the best thing to do here. And then I'm going to now say import. I'm going to go ahead and say OK. And sure enough, I have my design.md file imported. All right, so that's the first step. The next file is going to be the Nova Mirror skill. So I'm going to go ahead and download it as well. And here it is in my folder. And there we go. So let's go ahead and install the skill. So I'm going to come back, go to skills, and then, okay, so I need to upload my .md file. So it looks like I have to unzip this and then go into the folder. And this is the skill file. Okay, so I'm just going to move over this to the side and I am going to upload and then go into the folder here and look for my skill.md, which is right here. I'm going to say open, and it looks like Crafter Pro has been added, and I've got a check mark over here. All right, so that's pretty cool. Now let's move on to the next file. So over here, we've just done the skill. Now we have the context. So let's go ahead and download the context as well. And let's go to context. So I'm going to open this with text edit. Okay, close out of here. All right, so this is it. I'm going to copy it like that. And then I am going to paste it. I think I have to paste it in here. Save context. Okay, so it looks like everything has been done here. Let me just double check. Context saved. Okay, fantastic. So what I'm going to do next is to now head over to Nova Mirror. So here is still my connection, but what I'm going to do different here is, here it says build me a landing page on frames.diviuniversity.com. for a local dental practice called Northgate Dental London. So I've just added London, okay? So the reason why I've done that is just for me to have a brand new page for me to work this on, okay? I'm going to say a new landing page. Maybe that way it's better. And also what I've made different in this prompt is I've said use the existing design system on this site. Do not introduce new colors, fonts, or spacing values. Now let's see. Now this is going to be quite interesting. If it's able to do this, then this is going to be a big plus. So let's see what happens when I give this prompt. All right, so I'm going to go ahead now and commit to that like that, and it's going to go away. So this is going to definitely take quite a while to do, but if I see anything interesting here, I'll be pausing and then showing you what is happening. So I'm going to pause this for a bit. After about 20 minutes or so, I now have a live link. So I'm just going to copy this URL. Okay. But you see, before I copy it and paste it in my browser, there's something very interesting happening here. Now, this time around, we are using Crafter Pro and all its skills and the design MD and so on. And my hope here was it was going to go in and use all my presets and all my complete design system. So check this out. It's saying right here that built entirely from the live system. Okay, so check this out. I introduced no new colors, font, spacing, radii. Every value is a reference to an existing token on preset. Look at that. So on our presets here, it used all of that. It used the tokens on the variables. I mean, this is super exciting. Now, if this can produce what it says it does, this is a game changer for designing websites with AI. I mean, this is real. All right, so let's check this out. So we have our placeholders here. Okay, right. So let's go ahead now and take a look at the website. So I'm going to come over here, open a new tab, and I'm going to be comparing. Oh, wow. Look at that. So straight away, I can see that this is following the right setup. I mean, the right tokens. Everything is just correct. You know, just looking, the layout is balanced and I can see the spacing is fine here. I mean, so far I'm impressed. Over here, I can see that again, you know, the spacing, the padding on my sections is right. And the way it chose the colors to separate all the sections is also correct. Over here, I can see it used my preset for my testimonials. You know what? I'm loving this. And then over here, again, you can see everything has been spaced out correctly. And then finally, we also have this section here. I mean, this is brilliant. Now, if we compare this to that, I mean, you can see that this is off. I mean, you see that? I mean, it's totally off. It's not it's not even close, right? You would need to go in here and do a lot of work. Now, let's test and see if this is going to pass our test. We want to see if this has been designed properly. So we're going to go into Design Assist. And sure enough, we are getting 100 out of 100. You know what? This is brilliant. I know for a fact because Design Assist will point out areas where all the fonts or text or sizes was entered manually. And I can see everything on this page is following our design system. I mean, this is so impressive. Right, so let me close out of here because obviously there's nothing for us to fix. So I want to go in and really see what was being used. So if I select this one here, look at that, K eyebrow. If I go into this one here, go into design, and I can see here clamp values were used. I mean, isn't that cool? If I come over here, I mean, this is brilliant. I mean, look at all these clamp values. So this is really, really amazing. Now, there's one thing that I also want to test here and see if it's working, and that is to see the responsiveness. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open this on the front end, and then I'm going to right click and inspect. Right, so now I can drag this side here. And I mean, do you see how it's snapping? Wow, this can work perfectly on a smartphone. I mean, look at that. So just by applying that command, in Claude has built us this page. So all in all, at first, I was very skeptical about AI, but now in about, say, 30 minutes, if I'm able to design a page like this, where I don't have to worry about spacing or go in and add, values and all of that, and it's just picking up from my design system, I mean, this is really amazing. And we are working really hard to make sure that Crafter Pro is going to work with Divi AI when it comes out. With Divi AI, in fact, with all these AIs out there, they may look impressive, but they are not designed properly because we are missing, all the coding or the sizes are hard coded. And that is not what we want as we design websites. We need to follow a design system. And so far, Crafter Pro has impressed me. I have a link to Crafter Pro. Go ahead, check it out in the video description below. And once you purchase it, you also have access to the community where you can discuss with fellow designers who are using Crafter Pro, and we're going to continue making it better and even improve it. Now, I know right now you may be saying, well, but Mac, this is a boring design. Yes, it may be boring, but things are going to improve. And besides, for a dental healthcare, what more can we ask for, really? Do we need all these crazy animations, or we just want people to book? And as a designer, you need to save time. And that's where Crafter Pro comes in. So I am really, really excited. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comments box below. Until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next one. Take care.